Next up is the process for choosing the Leech Library Trustees alternates. So,
Yes. So at the last meeting, the council moved and voted upon and approved the idea that you will interview and select the Leech Library trustee alternates, that you will manage that process, and that you directed staff to come up with said process. So what you have in front of you is the proposed process and timeline. Basically, I am just looking from a consensus on the timeline and how you want to move forward, anything you would like to add or subtract from it, and a very, very draft form. I wasn't going to spend the time making it pretty until you approved it.
Sure.
The library, we did create some specific questions for this form, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First of all, the 2/3 of the backside of our standard form is just checking which boards you're interested in, which is clearly not applicable in this instance. Instead, we substituted that with 4 library-specific questions. And this is because the council's never, this position has not existed before in this community. The council's never filled this position before. And these alternate positions are on a governing board that is normally elected, over which the town council doesn't have any purview other than basically appointing the alternate members. So it's a very different situation than the normal board appointment process, over which you normally appoint people to boards that are advisory to the town council or quasi-judicial over town issues. This time you're appointing members to an entirely separate governing board. So that is why those questions were added on specifically and meant only for this position.
Excellent.
So I received a call, and I just want to know, so when they ask for employment, what conflicts of interest would exist with an employer? Just some examples. So
that is actually a standard question we ask on all of our ones. That's not one that was added specifically. That's actually the last question on the bottom side of the standard form.
Gotcha.
So I kept that as the only thing I removed from the form was the multiple boards and then added the library questions. So that's kind of a standard one. But I can imagine, for example, if you do business with, if you're
book reseller,
a contractor that sells to the library. So, we use that, for example, with the planning board, and if you're a developer, there might be a conflict of interest there in certain circumstances. So it also doesn't mean there's a conflict of interest in all circumstances, but it makes everybody aware that there might be, that in certain circumstances, somebody may need to recuse themselves.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Yep.
Well, I'm kind of totally confused on this because as Nancy and Beth were sitting up there at the last meeting, I remember saying to them, make sure you send me your process. I thought they were going to think up their own process and bring it to us, and that they were going to find the people, and then we just reviewed it and made a decision on their choice. That was what I understood that happened at the last meeting.
So, Deb, with Ted's motion, we took on the burden of it.
Mm-hmm.
The council is doing all the work. The library trustees have no input. We're doing all the work.
They do have input because step 6, trustee feedback period, where they're going to be able to provide feedback on the applicants to us, so that we'll be able to review that.
But I'm saying they have no vote. We're picking them for them.
Right.
And so this is something we are going to have to do every single year.
Not necessarily.
No, unless they can come to an agreement in the process.
Well,
in the future, I would hope that
somewhere we should have it stated that we're doing it this year to help them, and now it's in place, and they should take it over. I'm concerned because it's 2 forms of government, and I don't want to be overreaching into their government. Right. That's my only concern. I do want to fix the problem, but I want to make sure, do you know what I'm trying to say?
That was my whole I agree with 100%. That was my whole concern. That's why I asked the trustees specific questions, and they decided they wanted us to do it.
But I think somewhere it needs to be specified that this will be the only time.
The trustees actually stated last week that they actually wanted input on the board, the 2 that we...
Maura Ryan did not.
Maura did not.
Yeah.
You're right.
So, and then with Ted's motion that Ted made, it was a decision that we were going to take on the burden of this. So
correct.
It all came to us.
I mean, I think you did a great job on this draft,
Thank
the
you.
process. And I think the process, is very open to the public. and gives an opportunity for everybody to participate. And I think after this year, then it's something
Well,
they
they
can
need
revisit.
to put it on their agenda that they're going to adopt this, and then it's off of our plate. I really
I'll bring it up to them Wednesday night.
thank you. You're so good as a liaison.
I would suggest that there's an MOA that I've already sent to them. I would put this in that MOA. The expectations are, if you're going to make recommendations to us for alternates in the future, this is the process that we expect you're going to follow for us to consider. Make that very clear. And they had that draft MOA. They're going through it right now. That's something we could easily add, because they would sign that MOA, because you're going to sign that MOA, not me, as to what the expectations are. It's very clear. It's in writing. Everybody else knows as well. That's what we're going to do in the future, and that can, in the future, that will take care of that. Obviously, we're in a different spot here right now.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that we're not burdened with it, and because it starts
agree.
out with one thing and then another thing, and next thing you
Yeah,
know.
because this is going to be time consuming.
Yes.
Interviews and that sort of thing. So my suggestion, if you would like me to, I can add that draft language to that MOA,
I would.
because I got to work that out with them, and then it's going to come to you because you have to approve it anyway.
I would agree with
I
you.
would
that'd
like
be
Yeah, I
that
agree.
to
I
happen.
think that'd be good.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to just ask the question. So if we're constructing a process that we want them to go through in the future and follow, what's the difference between this year and any other year? If we construct that process and it's good next year, why is it not good this year?
It is good this year,
It is.
but with Ted's motion, the decision of this board was
I
to bring it to
understand.
us. So,
And four of us
so they're
voted.
saying for the future, they want the library trustees to do this, not us.
Well, no, I understand.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, if that's the process and we outline a process for them, why do we not hand that over to them this year as well? Like, what's the difference between this year and next year?
Because I believe that the board basically told us that they have come to an impasse where they cannot decide.
There is a conflict
Right.
on the board, and they cannot make a decision.
Okay. Just
I'm
wanted
just saying
to ask
that's
that
my
question for
understanding. You guys done?
Yeah,
Okay.
because when you have, trustees
Yeah, I
that
got
come in and say, we didn't get the application till the name of the person 5 minutes before the interview,
Yep, I got it.
that's a problem. So,
Mr. Chair,
Yeah, please.
and the ultimate, I just want to clarify to everybody that the ultimate responsibility for appointing them
Is us.
will still reside with you. I just want to make sure
Yes.
you and everybody
Yes.
listening
We understood
knows
that.
that. Yes,
Yes.
cool. Awesome. Thank you.
We would just like them to adopt this process in the future, that they use this process that we've given them.
so you
And
just
then you're
need-
going to take care of that.
Yeah, you just need a consensus, yes.
Yes, no,
Everybody's okay with it.
yep, you're good?
We're all good.
We're all-
Okay,
Moving on.
all right.
I'll bring
You're
it
good,
up.
Deb, though? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine.
Perfect. All right. Next up, zoning ordinance